The night that we actually separated was the night he attacked me, and previous to that it had been in the home. He would have smashed things and punched holes in walls and things, but this night was the first night that he had become physical with me, and he had gone out. There had been around the house beforehand, and then he had gone out drinking with neighbours and come home. I was in bed with my 3-year-old. She had woke up and I brought her into bed, so he come home and I pretended to be asleep, knowing that he had been in bad form, and he came into the house and shone his torch in my face to wake me. And he came in, he had taken all my credit cards before he'd gone out, and he had been phoning my boss and different things, abusing them. So I had changed the lock number on my phone, and I had blocked all the credit cards so he couldn't do any kind of damage on those. So he came into the room and shouted, "That's trust for you," and smashed my phone into the bathroom, and then come back into the room and dragged me out of the hair, dragged me up the hall into our bedroom, and pushed me down onto the bed, and then straddled me and put both of his hands round my throat and told me that he was going to kill me, which I believed. And while all this was happening, the girls were screaming. They were just in their bedroom down the hall, so I could hear them squealing. It was like the most horrendous noise, and it's one of the things that has stayed with me, the noise of them screaming. He took one hand off my throat then, and I was able to speak, and I begged him not to do it. I said, you'll cross a line if you do this, if you hit me, if you do anything now, you're going to cross a line, there's no way back. And I just begged him not to hurt me, to listen to the children, and to stop. I think I was so shocked that after all of these years, he actually was like, just the shock of being dragged by my hair. He had taken his clothes off in the bedroom from he had come in, and my first instinct was that he was going to rape me, so I thought that that's what he was taking me into the bedroom for. So when he put his both hands around my throat and told me he was going to kill me, and he said, "Are you prepared for this? Are you ready to die? You've made me do this. I'm going to kill you, and it's your fault, and you've made me do this." Do you know? So it was terrifying. And I think even though I wasn't physically hurt, somebody made a comment, you'd no cuts or bruises, you were fine. But the feeling of somebody having their hands around your throat and telling you that you're going to die, when they have literally got your life in their hands, you believe them. Because I could see everything flash in front of me, and I could hear my daughters crying and thinking, I'm literally going to die in the bedroom, and they're going to hear this happening. Do you know, all I could think was these 2 wee girls are going to be in this house when he kills me. And that was really shocking. When you're being abused, and it's emotional and verbal abuse, and it happens over time, you get to the point where you think it's all your fault anyway. You believe the things that they're telling you, that you have changed, you're not fun anymore. Do you know, all of the things, you're nagging, so you're so downtrodden by that point that you do think it's your fault, and you don't think anybody would believe you, and you've taken all of the blame onto yourself. So I think it is like a drip, 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 and it just goes on to the point that you're so deep in it that you don't really know what to do and how to get out.
It's really difficult, especially as a police officer, day to day, to have to listen to the stories of violence and abuse that women and girls are experiencing. It's really important that we as police officers are empathetic and understanding, and we try to put ourselves in the shoes of victims that are going through these things.
It was really difficult, and I think I just couldn't believe that the police were there and that we were having to deal with any of this. The children were in the house.
Just take your time.
He was out in the car, and I asked Ruth to go over and get Madison and Poppy and bring them over here to me. I was glad later that police had been called, and they notified social services, who then made me sign a contract and not allow him to have contact with the children. So I was really, really glad that that was the that's probably what meant I didn't go back this time.
Our new Violence Against Women and Girls action plan really seeks to build trust and confidence, which has been lost in the past with women and girls, so that they do feel comfortable and confident in coming forward and reporting to police.
On that evening, I can't remember what the policeman looks like, but I can remember how nice he was and how reassuring he was. He had asked when he had first come in if I would allow him to take footage just while I was speaking to him. I can remember being really emotional and really scared, and he kept reassuring me that he couldn't get into the house and that I was safe, and that what I was saying was okay and that it was safe to tell him. People still believe that if somebody isn't hitting you, that it's not abuse, and it's teaching people that actually a lot of these behaviours aren't okay, and it's okay to speak out and it's okay to ask for help. If you're walking on eggshells and afraid of your partner coming home, well, that's not right, and it's time to get help and try and get out of that.
I would like to see change happening quickly, and I think the only way that we can do that is by listening to victims who have been through these experiences, and by using their voice and their experience to inform our training within the police service, and using those lived experiences to shape what we are training out to police officers.
It's still difficult for just people in society to understand how much domestic violence is happening, and how bad it is for people who are experiencing it without being beaten, without having to attend a hospital, do you know? So I think there's still work to educate the public in realising that it's happening all the time. I would say to anybody sitting at home questioning their relationship to get help, to ring the police and to take the steps to leave and to get help to leave safely. In my experience of a 9-year relationship that I didn't think would ever become physical, it does, and the fact that the first time he was physical with me, he tried to strangle me, is really dangerous, and you don't want to be another person who doesn't actually get to get out.
I would say for anyone who's experiencing abuse to phone police, because you will be believed and you will be listened to, and there are police officers out there who do care and they really do want to help. Our ultimate aim is to make society and public spaces safer for women and girls everywhere.